Engine and transmission are out. No turning back now. So I'm going to probably split the engine and transmission. We're going to bring this to a buddy's shop, get it basically cleaned in the big machine. Same with the transmission. And we're probably going to use it for a future build. Clean it all back up, fix whatever needs to be fixed, and then reassemble and put it on an engine stand for, again, future use. After that, I'm going to go ahead and jump back in the engine bay. We're going to pull the engine mounts that mount to the shock towers, and I'm going to be removing any power steering parts and the center link, and we're going to be going with a manual center link to make it a manual steering car. Alright, so got the engine and transmission all disassembled, getting it ready to put in the trailer to bring down to our family friend's shop for cleaning. We also started cleaning up the engine bay as you saw previously. That's what it looked like before, after. So pretty happy with that. Probably not going to even touch it up, just going to leave it. Again, this car is going to be a driver. It's going to be driven. I'm sure it's going to get driven in the rain sometimes. Power tour, it's always raining. So this car is probably going to stay as is. Might touch up these spots that are pretty barren right there and shoot the battery tray, but for the rest of it, I don't really feel like taping off everything and spraying it down and taking all the wiring harness off. So yeah, continue scrubbing the rest of the way and should be much more presentable, less dirty. Got about 3/4 of the way done. Still have to do this corner over here. The thing I'm not too happy about was this side, or this, I guess, quadrant here. It's showing a lot more primer than this side. This side's got a little bit of splotchiness going on, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing. If I'm going to just sand it, paint it, or if I'm going to leave it kind of continuing on with the ratty theme. Alright, so just doing a little painting here in the shop. That's why I got my mask on. But basically, we just got a shipment in, part from California. If you ever heard of Open Tracker, they sell a lot of rollarized parts for Mustang, Comets, all the Fords. Rollarized parts, basically it allows all movement or articulation for the front suspension to be as freely mobile and movable as possible. So if you haven't checked them out, make sure to check them out if you're ever thinking about upgrading your front suspension. That is definitely a great route to go. So we're going to open up that package and see what we got. Alright guys, so here is the 1965 manual center link for the Comet. Ordered this through Open Tracker. Great guys to deal with. John over at Open Tracker, super nice guy. If you ever need to chit chat with anyone in the sense of upgrading your suspension parts and just want to pick someone's brain in the sense of which route to go, definitely a great guy to talk with. We went with this manual steering center link for the 65 Comet. The 65 Comet is currently a power steering car. I didn't want that. I wanted more road feel, hence why I went with manual steering. Brand new part, already painted, which I was kind of shocked. I was expecting it to be bare metal, so no painting required. Gonna get this installed very shortly. Just gonna take off the power steering setup, show you the differences, and get this installed. Alright, so here's the comparison between the power steering setup and the manual setup. As you can see, the power steering has that extra ram there with a completely different end to it. And then obviously these lines go to the reservoir, which go to the pump. Now, everything is great. Everything lines up perfectly, exactly as the factory one did on the correct ends. Same thing here. This is where it's going to basically tie into the driver's side tie rod, inner tie rod. Same as this. This is the inner tie rod hole. And then this one right here is going to go into the pitman arm. And this is going into the idler arm. And this is going into the passenger side inner tie rod. So same thing here, same concept. Just a lot less things to worry about, lots less possibilities of leaking, and a few less things to fix. As you can see here, this is pretty caked. This had the broken hole on it, which would have required a new cap. This looks pretty sloppy there. I'm sure the lines were all cracked, needing replaced. Oh yeah, look at those lines. Look how cracked they are. So, better to keep things simple and just go with a manual steering. Yes, it requires a little more arm muscle in the sense of parking, slow speed parking concerns, but I'll deal with it. Nothing different than what I'm used to already. Dad's just gonna have to use those old man muscles a little more than he's used to. Alright, there it is. Time to get that installed. I'm going to actually clean up the inner and outer tie rods on both sides because they are just as caked with dirt as this is. Alright, so got the girlfriend cleaning up some parts here. Hard to see, I got to clean the lens there, but putting her to work. She's cleaning up the inner and outer tie rod ends so I can get them painted so they can at least match the new center link there. Cleaned up the battery tray side because there's some not like surface rust, just bare metal showing there, so I cleaned that up, cleaned the battery tray, sprayed it a little. But I got a bunch of different silvers all over here, and we're painting the intake. So we got 4 different colors on right now. These 3, so there's 1, 2, 3, all look relatively similar. And then there's this back gray, which I kind of like. Kind of looks more cast aluminum look. This looks a little shiny and poppy. And then there's this color here, which is kind of like a bronze, kind of like a bronze color to it. It's kind of nice. So I think it's between this one here and this color here. Let me know, because I'm painting the intake, timing cover, and then the water pump, probably all the same color. Other than that, engine's coming along. We got the T5. Got a couple different T5s here that we just bought. So this one's got an S10 shifter. I think I mentioned it before that we were looking at it. We ended up buying it. S10, they're both the 2.3 turbo coupes. They're both those turbo coupe world-class transmission, except this one has an S10 tail shaft on it, so it relocates the shifter, as you can see here, about gosh, it's got to be like 10 inches forward. So we're going to install that transmission with the engine initially, see where it locates itself shifter wise on the Comet, and then if it's too far back in the sense of ergonomics, I guess we'll call it, then we'll switch to this one to move it forward. But that's pretty much it lately. Should be driving, I think. Oh, gotta be before spring, that's for sure. Still gotta put the front suspension back on as well, and the brakes, which you'll see in a future episode. Alright, so got the inner and outer tie rod ends all painted up. Going to get them installed now. Which one was the left one and which one was the right one? Oh god. Feels like a paint booth in here. Got the fan all sandblasted and painted. Got the pulleys. That's the 3-belt pulley for AC and all other attachments, power steering and alternator. Got the timing cover, water pump, and intake all painted. Got the top water pump pulley all painted as well. Got the throttle or accelerator linkage all painted. And got the alternator bracket and spacer all painted. Got the center link all installed. Painted up the steering box and the frame rail there because it was bare. And then got all the inner and outer tie rods attached along with the idler arm. Looking good, looking good. Alright, so we got the second package from Summit. This is a Hellwig, I think it's an 1 1/8 front sway bar. Gonna get it opened up and installed. Lord have mercy, this thing was packaged well. It's got the straps here. It's got 4 million staples all around the edges, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's definitely not coming apart during shipping. And here you can see the inside. Let's get this styrofoam out of the way. Nicely coated. Beautiful look to it. That's for sure. And then the box. Glued. Wow. Alright. That's not going anywhere either. And 4 million other staples. Intermission time. Alright, got the box open. That was a mission. I gotta say, this is pretty solid stuff here. Nice bolts. The other one I purchased, it's got little flimsy bolts. This got like nice, I don't know if that's 7/16, whatever that is, but nice brackets too, super thick. Looks like over an inch, or over an eighth inch thick steel, whereas the factory ones are pretty flimsy. And then the bar itself is just a beautiful, I forget what they call that, crinkle coating, something like that. But solid, weighs like, oh god, it's got to be 35-40 pounds by the feels of it. It's pretty hefty. So we're gonna get that installed. All these nice bushings. It's a Hellwig unit. Where's the part number? Some instructions, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty self-explanatory. Literally 6 bolts total. 2 that mount to the control arm on each side, and then the 4 that hold these brackets in place on the frame rail. Nice. Happy with it. Happy I spent the extra few bucks. Quality shows, that's for sure. Alright, so here's an up close and personal look at it. Everything went on smoothly. However, they didn't have the nuts or washers in the kit. So looking at the room here, I might take the washer out and just put the nut. But they had the bolts, but no nuts. But everything else was flawless. Also, they said not to install it with the car up. So what I did is I just loosely assembled everything. Nothing is tight. Once I get the brakes on and the suspension in, then I'll lower the car and I'll finalize the tightness on these. Also, they give you, if you buy the kit, a different length of these tubes here. So these are basically the spacers. I believe the shorter one creates a stiffer ride or a harder turning. Correct me if I'm wrong. I threw in the long ones for now. We'll see how it rides come the time that we drive it. And if I want adjustment, I can throw the other ones in afterwards. So we're just dropping off the engine and tranny to get washed. Here's the other little parts. You can see the oil pan, how gunky it was. Hey, I need one of these. Want me to hold it? Yeah. Should we, are we putting it all in at once, or?
I'm not sure.
We can move it by hand, it's not that heavy. Will the tranny be too much if we throw it in there?
Yeah.
Scooch that over? Or? Yeah, we got the oil pan and a few other things. It's so cute. In she goes.
All right.
Yeah, close her up.
Angel's the gatekeeper, look. Hey, don't get your finger stuck like Sprocky. Yeah. You ever hear about that?
No.
My cousin?
No.
Ange. The machine was bigger than this, wasn't it? Oh, they're all different size. The Typhoon that Eaton had, when Holmes got his finger stuck in it, was bigger than this.
No, it's a sit size.
No, it's bigger.
The big lights, the big lamps, big gauges, all that shit. Handlebars were like this. Still on. You want to do it a bit more?
How much did he pay for it back then? Like,
Oh, I don't know.
Orange? What are we, cleaning a Chevy?
he got stupid money too. Like.
Yeah.
That did pretty good.
But he had a storage.
Another shot?
Oh, really? Yeah. Because he knows I wouldn't let him do it here.
Yeah. Well, it took a lot off already, eh?
See this?
Spin that around. Maybe it'll take it out of an angle. Did it come up?
That's the K-Con stuff. We find that you don't.
Yeah, that would have come up.
Unless you got the grease, that brake cleaner.
That
Yeah.
clean,
I think
yeah.
I have some.
What's up with the orange pan?
Oh, it was the
The Chevy edition.
Chevy, the Ford at the Chevys. Trying to get back at him.
Look at the chain, eh?
Yeah. So you want to just spin stuff around and give it another whirl, or?
See if he has the brake cleaner and see what happens.
Okay, Mike. Let's
I
see.
don't know if this will work. If there's any.
So that's brake cleaner, right? That takes the
Yeah.
oil away.
It helps break it down. It doesn't really like. We find this is only good when we have those really packed on like trannies. It takes all that shit off. The rust, the concrete.
All right. I guess we'll one more.
Said they
Round two.
He's got these out here. He's got the all.
Like at least you should have taken a chance and sell it a little money, and then if nobody bites.
So it cleans a little more. Yeah, the ring ridge is terrible. Oh, it's okay. Hey, it's better than sitting there and cleaning it by hand. Like this stuff I'll just chip it off with the scraper.
You guys have a sandblaster.
Yeah, I just did some upgrades to it actually over the weekend. Oh, it's good. It's nice.
Yeah, because this in
Yeah,
this won't do.
No, I don't. I never expected it to take that heavy stuff off. Just get like the major grease, I guess, and majority of the oil. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it definitely wasn't getting any oil, that's for sure. Jeez. Okay. Yep, up. Yeah, go.
Is the thing gonna fly out for the burger? It won't fly out.
Yeah, I'll hold it like this. Well, it should be took the aluminum pretty clean, so this should be pretty nice afterwards.
He bought real. The coupe, standard. He beats anybody with this car.
Okay, transmission time. Let's see how she looks. Oh, it's like a nice hot steamy shower. Look at that. So yeah, that's the sandy stuff. I'm not expecting that to come off. What do you think?
With a really strong power wash, it might be able
Should pop it off.
to take that off.
Yeah.
Get all the oil off though.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the dipstick tube. Nice. Nice and clean. You mind spinning it?
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's good. But you don't think any more is going to come off like that stuff?
No, that won't.
It's pretty caked on there.
This will, if it's caked on with oil and grease, it'll wipe it right out.
Yeah.
You can see right
Yeah, you can see there.
But it's
Super
hard.
clean.
You can see there's layers.
Yeah, so this stuff's basically baked on. Even on the frame rails and inner fenders, they had this stuff. It's like, it's really weird. It's like almost like an undercoating type of material. See the pan's all clean. All right, we'll pop her out. Make sure that strap's out of there. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ange.
No problem.
Big help, big help. Hey, you want your rag? Hopefully we don't lose it on the highway. Oh God, that's so handy. It's on a pivot. That's a must-have, eh? Oh yeah.
That I used to have one of those.
What that?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, we have a chain fall. We don't have a gantry. Check this thing out. Look at this center section. Hold on, let me just put my hand here for size comparison. How crazy is that? Look at my foot. Look at my foot. That's a size 11 or 11 and a half boot. Crazy. Look at the gears. Insane. So it makes the world go round, though. Delivering all your stuff. Crazy. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Classic Mustangs 429. If you like what you saw, please hit the like and subscribe button below to support the channel. I appreciate everyone who's following along with this build. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss the next episode where we partner with quite an awesome suspension company. See you next week, guys. Mike from Classic Mustangs 429 signing out.